Once upon a time, in a small African village, there lived a young man named Ikenna. Ikenna was a handsome, intelligent, and very hard-working young man. But he had this one attitude that outshadowed all his virtues. He was incredibly stingy. Despite his wealth, Ikenna refused to spend a single penny unless deemed absolutely necessary. He would bargain prices for food, clothing, and other necessary items he needed so relentlessly with traders. As Ikenna grew more into a man, his friends and family began to worry so much about him. They would say, "Ikenna, why do you hold on so tightly onto your wealth? You have enough to live comfortably and to help those in need." But Ikenna would simply shake his head and reply them, "Why spend money when I can save it for a rainy day?" Despite Ikenna's stingy attitude, he longed for companionship. He dreamed of finding a wife to share his entire life with. But his reputation as the stingiest man in the village made it nearly impossible for him to find a bride. Women whispered about him in his back, saying that he would never be able to provide for a family if he couldn't even bear to part with his precious money. Years passed and Ikenna remained unmarried. He watched as his friends found love and started their own families, while he continued to count his precious money in solitude. However, he refused to give up. He was determined to find a wife, even if it meant sacrificing some of his precious wealth. One day, as Ikenna was walking through the village market, he saw a beautiful young woman named Amina selling fruits and vegetables. She had a radiant smile and a kind heart, and Ikenna knew in an instant that she was the one he had been searching for. But there was a problem. Amina had heard the rumors about Ikenna's stinginess, and she wanted nothing to do with him. She had seen how he pinched pennies at the market and refused to give to those in need, and she didn't want a husband who cared more about his wealth rather than he did about her. Ikenna seemed undeterred. He decided to prove to Amina that he was capable of change. He started by giving generously to those in need, donating his time and money to help the less fortunate in the village. He also showered Amina with so much gifts, showing her that he was willing to spend his wealth to make her happy. Slowly but surely, Amina began to see a different side of Ikenna. She saw how he had transformed from a miserly bachelor into a caring and generous man, and she found herself falling in love with him despite his reservations. In the end, Ikenna and Amina were married in a joyous ceremony attended by the entire village. And as they danced beneath the stars, Ikenna whispered in Amina's ears, "I may have been stingy with my wealth in the past, but I now realize that true richness comes from the love we share." And from that day forward, Ikenna and Amina lived happily ever after. Their love proving that even the stingiest of hearts can be opened with the power of love.